Page 12, Watching Clouds Go By. This piece, in my opinion, is a bit of a challenge, so let's take a look at it. Look it over. It's 2 pages of music to learn. It's a little longer than that to play, but it's 2 pages of music to deal with. Clef signs are still treble and bass clef. There are 3 sharps in the key signature, so this is either in the key of A major or F sharp minor, or both. If we look at the ends, if we can find a fine, the coda ends it, so at the end you're here. You're sort of in A major. Yes, we're in A major. However, as far as doing the scales and arpeggios, do them both within the key signature. A major and F sharp minor. If you don't know them, you just 1 octave up and down. That's all it takes. If you do know them and you're comfortable with them, then go 2 octaves. Don't push it. If you don't know them, don't try 2 octaves. That's silly. Just learn them. Do the trill exercise and the tremolo exercise. That'll do you the best. And then 4/4 time signature. Let's take this one hand at a time because there's some tricky stuff going on. Right hand, you're starting out C natural because it would be a C sharps in the key signature. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and see, we're kind of in that position. 1 and 2 and 3 and major 5. 1 and 2 and. So we're going to play on the ends. 1 and 2 and then scrunch up 5 and then here. I want to connect the notes with the fingers. So 1 and 2 here, and then you have it 1 beat rest to come back up. Major 11, you just come up here. 1 and 2. And then come down. 1 and 2. Now, for measure 13, you can stay there if you want. Just reach down. Or you can do theirs, because you've done it on all the others. Whichever. I don't care. Just be consistent. I mean, each time you play that measure, finger it the same way. You play that measure. Some other measure might be fingered differently, but each measure, be consistent. Measure 15, we're down here. 1 and 2 and. So we're playing on the ends again. 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2. What? Measure 16. Well, they're all 8th notes, so rhythm-wise it's not a problem. It's just getting the accidentals. 1 and 2 and 3 and then measure 17. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. See, on 4 you do it again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Next line's the same. Pretty much. Left hand. Well, the left hand's a bit uncomfortable for me because I got larger hands. If you got little hands, this works fine. They want you to use thumb on both. I don't really recommend it. I really don't. If you can, use the 2. 2, 1. Up here. It keeps you up here. If you have larger hands and it doesn't fit, then you got to use 1, 2. You just switch them. This keeps your hand out here. Here. I don't know how big your hands are. My hands are a little bigger. I'm more comfortable out here, even though that's a bit of a stretch. It's not that much of a stretch. Now measure 7, you're here. Now the bottom note's changing. So either the top note's changing or the bottom note's changing. Wherever you are, good luck with that. Then once I have an idea what the hands are doing, I'll try putting them together. Starting with the 3rd measure, you're here. There, measure 5. 1 and 2 and. Okay. 1 and. So I go through very slowly and carefully, and I put the hands together, and then I go back forward a few 100 times or whatever, and I slowly work out the hesitations. You go as slow as you got to, doesn't matter, but no hesitation. This has got to be a steady beat. All these quarter notes are steady all the way through. Then I think about the articulation. They don't give a lot. You have a few accents. Pretty much you're connecting it. You can't connect this, but it's not staccato. No, you pretend you can connect it. This connect. Accent measure 5. So I'm pretty much connecting things and then adding in the accents where they say to. And if you're curious about it, because it's part of interpretation, let's take a look at measure 5, for instance. You accent the first note. The idea is, in interpreting music, most of the time, there's always exceptions. When you play a syncopated note, you'll accent it. A measure 5, we expect it to be either on the beat. In that case, it's fine. Or we expect it to be on the second beat. Right? But here, it's on the end of the beat. It's like, what? It's syncopated. It's just rhythmically off a little bit. And when that happens, we accent that note. We bring it out. So you don't even need an accent sign for it. You just do it. Now, dynamics. The MP at the beginning is here. Mezzo piano, sort of soft. And then here, mezzo forte. That's the melody, which is the right hand. This stays, or you can even get softer if you want. The accent note then will be a loud note. So forth. So you can read the dynamics. Just stick in the it's better if you can get into it and feel it, and you feel the dynamics. Then the speed. Moderately and swing. Moderately is just in the middle, it's not fast or slow. And swing is, you swing the rhythm. 1 and 2, and long short. Don't ba-bum. There's a diminuendo and ritardo on the last line. You just gradually slow down and get softer. You feel it. Now let's play this together very slowly and just check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do any louds and softs. We will do the DS all coda. Remember, DS means go back to the sign. The sign is at the beginning of measure 3. Then the all coda, the coda sign is at the bottom of page 12. And when you finish that measure, you immediately jump over to the coda. I'll give us 4 counts. 1, 2, ready, go. list.